The US is the land of the free, right? Then let me ask you this. When you must ask and pay the government for permission to use your own property, and then you must use it exactly how the government tells you to, do you believe that you are free? When freedom is literally based on your ability to acquire, hold, and use property according to your free will, does what I described sound like freedom to you? So, what happened? See, in 1933, crypto-communist President Franklin Roosevelt declared a banking holiday, confiscated all the nation's gold by executive order, and gave us paper Federal Reserve notes to use as currency instead. Federal Reserve notes are promissory notes, contracts evidencing debt to a private central bank with no inherent value. This is in direct violation of Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution, which states that only gold and silver shall be used as legal tender in the payment of debts. The courts, before they were entirely hijacked by a private foreign guild of merchant attorneys known as the Bar Association, upheld this fact. In Fidelity Savings State Bank v. Grimes from 1942, the Kansas Supreme Court held that a payment by note is not payment in cash. In fact, it is not payment at all, but only a promise to pay. In State v. Nealon from 1903, the Oregon Supreme Court held that checks, drafts, money orders, and banknotes are not lawful money of the United States. And in Eckert v. Commissioner of the IRS from 1930, the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals held that the giving of a note does not constitute cash payment. Without lawful money, one cannot lawfully buy and therefore lawfully own property. What is worse is that with gold no longer capable of securing the public debt, Congress and the President set their sights on what had always been the intended collateral, you. With the unlawful ratification of the 14th Amendment in 1868, Congress had already created a subclass of chattel property known as the U.S. citizen. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, as well as a plethora of state Supreme Court cases, evidence this amendment as having created an entirely separate class of citizen from the people of the states, one under the guardianship of the federal corporation. The 4th section of the 14th Amendment forbids this infantile citizen from questioning the public debt, revealing both the lack of political authority of the U.S. citizen and the true reason for its creation, which became apparent in 1933. See, Federal Reserve notes are contracts which we use as currency. Like all contracts, these notes require collateral to secure performance. So, on March 9, 1933, Congress and the President mortgaged the property rights of all U.S. citizens, rendering them without lawful rights to property. As a result, the property of all U.S. citizens has been placed in trust and tied to a master file account number, the Social Security number. Now, administrative agencies such as the DMV can regulate the use of this trust property through regulatory codes, such as the Motor Vehicle Code. Road pirates and commercial equity courts enforce compliance. Welcome to the land of the fee, home of the debt slave. Search Burn the Corporate Fiction on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and X.